Imam Ali, peace be upon him, says a person does not change when he is given wealth, status and power, but rather he is exposed as the balance of wisdom. This statement is one of the most profound insights into the human character, because often people think that money, authority or influence have the ability to transform a human being, but in reality these things do not create a new personality. They only reveal what was hidden deep inside the soul. When a poor man or a powerless man walks in humility and speaks with kindness, people assume that he is naturally humble, but in truth his humility has never been tested against the trials of authority. Once that man is placed upon a seat of leadership or handed wealth that could control lives, the reality of his nature comes to light. Imam Ali, peace be upon him, is explaining that circumstances do not invent qualities, rather they uncover them. Imagine a person who walks every day in the marketplace greeting people with smiles, helping the needy and acting kindly while he has little in his hand. His acts are appreciated, but the true test is when riches enter his house. Does he still walk with the same smile, or does arrogance shadow his eyes? Does he still extend his hand to the poor, or does he now build walls to separate himself from them? Wealth does not insert pride into his soul, it only unveils the pride that was already sleeping within him. Power does not manufacture cruelty, it only unlocks the cruelty that was veiled under weakness and poverty. In this way, the saying of Imam Ali, peace be upon him, becomes a mirror for all of humanity. If we reflect deeper, we see that every stage of life is a trial designed not to shape what we are but to show what we are. Allah the Almighty has created human beings with choices, and within those choices lie seeds. Some seeds are of generosity, others of greed, some of mercy, others of harshness. When one has nothing, the seeds remain hidden like a garden waiting for the rain of opportunity. When that rain comes in the form of status, money or control, the seeds begin to sprout and the world sees what lies inside the soil of the heart. The noble man will blossom into generosity, the selfish man will flourish into greed, the compassionate will expand into mercy, while the arrogant will rise into oppression. Therefore, Imam Ali, peace be upon him, with his unmatched wisdom, explains that external blessings are not forces of change but forces of exposure. History is filled with lessons that echo this truth. There were kings who once lived among the poor and promised justice, but when the throne was placed under their feet, they became tyrants. The crown did not change them, the crown revealed them. Their hearts had thirst for domination all along, but their weakness kept them hidden until the moment of power arrived. On the other hand, there are leaders who rose to high positions yet remained servants of the people. Their hearts were fountains of humility, and that fountain flowed regardless of palaces or treasures. The position of authority did not change them, it only allowed the world to witness their sincerity and their loyalty to justice. Imam Ali, peace be upon him, himself is the greatest example of this wisdom. When the treasures of the Islamic State were within his reach, he lived with simplicity. His clothes were rough, his food was plain, and his home was humble. He did not change with power because he had nothing to hide. His soul was already pure, and authority only reflected that purity. He sat among the poor, ate among them, and walked with them, not as a ruler above them but as a brother beside them. Wealth could not expose arrogance in him because arrogance was never planted in his heart. Status could not reveal greed because greed was absent from his soul. Instead, his rule revealed only the wisdom, compassion and justice that were already deeply rooted within him. When we bring this teaching to our personal lives, we realize how often we misjudge people. We see a man who has little and we call him kind, but the truth is that we do not know him until we see how he behaves when he gains something more. Every person is in a constant state of trial by Allah. Sometimes the trial is poverty, sometimes it is wealth, sometimes it is weakness, sometimes it is authority. The trial is never meant to change us, it is meant to uncover us. Just like fire tests gold and reveals its purity, so too do wealth and power test the human character and reveal its quality. It is easy to pretend humility when there is nothing to be proud of, but when wealth arrives, the tongue begins to speak differently, the eyes begin to look down upon others, the heart begins to attach itself to possessions, and here the real face of a person comes forward. Likewise, it is easy to act merciful when you have no one under your control, but give a man power over even a few souls and watch how he treats them. If mercy is in his soul, it will spread like light. If cruelty is within, it will burst out like fire. This is why Imam Ali, peace be upon him, in his wisdom tells us not to be deceived by the condition of people when they are powerless, for the true reality of their spirit will be unveiled in times of wealth and authority. We may ask then, how does one prepare oneself so that when wealth or status comes it reveals goodness rather than evil? The answer lies in constant self-purification. The heart must be trained in gratitude, humility and justice before the tests arrive. If arrogance is uprooted in times of weakness, it will not sprout in times of strength. If greed is removed when one is poor, it will not blossom when one becomes rich. The companions of Imam Ali, peace be upon him, were often reminded to focus not on outer conditions but on inner refinement, for the world can change in a moment but the heart must be steady like a mountain. Only then can external gifts reveal beauty rather than corruption. This teaching also saves us from jealousy. Many times we see someone rise in wealth or status and we envy them, thinking that they have been blessed with something greater, but in truth they have been placed into a harder trial, for now the secrets of their soul will be shown to the world, and if those secrets are filled with flaws, their downfall will be swift and heavy. The poor man who remains patient may be far superior in the sight of Allah than the rich man who fails his test, because the poor man is still protected while the rich man is unveiled. Imam Ali, peace be upon him, is guiding us to see that the real treasure is not what is placed in our hand but what is placed in our heart. Let us imagine a society that understood this teaching. No one would blindly praise the rich or the powerful. They would wait and see how they use their wealth and power. Do they spend it on themselves, or do they give it to those in need? Do they walk with arrogance, or do they remain humble? Do they use authority for justice or for oppression? In such a society, respect would not be given to the one who owns but to the one who serves, and that is the true balance of wisdom, the balance that Imam Ali, peace be upon him, points to. Wisdom is the scale that measures the weight of character. Wealth, power, and position are merely the stones placed upon the scale. They reveal whether the scale tips towards justice or injustice, towards generosity or selfishness, towards humility or arrogance. When a man is poor, the scale is empty and it is hard to measure his weight, but once wealth is placed on it, the balance becomes clear. If he stands firm in humility, the scale of wisdom rises in his favor. If he falls into arrogance, the scale falls against him. The same with authority. When a man has no control, the scale does not move, but when control is placed upon him, his true balance is shown. Therefore, when Imam Ali, peace be upon him, says that wealth, power, and status do not change a person but expose him, he is giving us a key to understanding human behavior. He is teaching us not to be deceived by appearances, nor to place our trust in temporary states. Rather, we should watch how a person handles the blessings of life, for in those moments the unseen becomes seen and the hidden becomes manifest. The lesson for every believer is to work on the inner self constantly, to polish the heart, to plant seeds of sincerity, and to remove seeds of arrogance, so that if Allah ever blesses us with wealth or status, it will only reveal beauty and not ugliness, and if He keeps us in poverty or weakness, we remain grateful, knowing that our hidden flaws may still be veiled from the eyes of the world but never from the eyes of Allah. This wisdom of Imam Ali, peace be upon him, is timeless in every age. People chase wealth and power thinking they will gain respect, yet true respect is not gained by possessing things but by possessing character, for the throne can be taken away, the gold can be stolen, the power can be stripped, but the essence of the heart remains, and it is that essence which defines whether a man is noble or ignoble, whether he is remembered as a servant of justice or a tyrant of oppression. Thus we return to the saying again, a person does not change when he is given wealth, status, and power, but rather he is exposed as the balance of wisdom. In this short statement is an ocean of truth for those who reflect. It is not the outer condition that matters but the inner foundation. It is not what is in the hand that reveals a man but what is in his heart, and the trials of life are designed to unveil this reality to the world and to the soul itself.